What if I told you that the secrets to getting wealthy aren't some new, complicated thing, but are actually hidden in simple stories from 6,000 years ago? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today with The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a classic book that shows how ancient wisdom from the world's first super-rich city can still make people fortunes today.
So, this is the big idea, the foundation for everything we're about to talk about. And it's a pretty wild claim, right? That the laws of money are basically as unchanging as the laws of gravity. Forget about all the latest trends. The book argues that what made people rich way back then is the exact same stuff that can make you rich right now.
Okay, so if building wealth is based on these timeless rules, why does so many of us feel like we're just running on a financial hamster wheel? You know that feeling? Why does it seem like our money just disappears the second it hits our bank account? That's the exact question this book is all about answering.
And the book's answer doesn't start with some boring lecture. Nope, it starts with a story. A story about a guy whose money problems, even though he lived thousands of years ago, are going to sound really, really familiar.
So, meet Bansir. This guy is the best at what he does, a master chariot builder. I mean, think of him as the top expert in his entire field. He works super hard, people respect him, but his wallet, completely empty. And he's living in the ancient version of, say, New York City, surrounded by insane wealth, but he is flat broke. Does that sound familiar at all?
And then, right in the middle of complaining about being broke, they have this big aha moment. It hits them. They're experts at their jobs, sure, but they are total beginners when it comes to money. They've spent their entire lives getting good at their craft, but not a single day learning the craft of building wealth. And they realized wealth isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you have to go after.
And that one decision, it changes everything. It leads them to go find Arkad, the richest man in the whole city, to learn the one secret that kicked it all off for him, the very first law of gold.
So Arkad's story begins when he was just a poor scribe. He makes a deal with a super-rich moneylender. He says, "I'll work all night carving these tablets for you if you tell me the secret to wealth." And what he learned that night wasn't some crazy, complex formula. It was one single, simple truth that completely changed his life.
And here it is. This is it. The single most important lesson in the entire book. It's a total mind shift. Think about it for a second. You pay your rent, you pay for your groceries, you pay for your car. But when do you pay yourself? Arkad's mentor taught him this revolutionary idea that the very first person you have to pay from every single paycheck is you. So how much? How much do you keep? The book gives us a super simple, easy-to-do starting point, 10%. That's it. Before a single dollar goes to anyone else, the landlord, the phone company, anyone, you take 1/10 of everything you make and you put it aside for yourself. This isn't about saving what's left over at the end of the month. It's about making your wealth the #1 priority.
I love this metaphor the book uses. That first 10% you save, it isn't just a little pile of money, it's a seed. And every time you save more, you're watering that seed. And over time, that seed grows into a huge tree of wealth that can provide for you, giving you that financial security and freedom we're all looking for.
Okay, but paying yourself first is just step one. It's the start of a whole system that Arkad created to turn an empty wallet into an overflowing one. And he calls them the cures for a lean purse.
This breaks it down perfectly. First, you save your 10%. We got that. Then, step 2, you got to learn to live on the other 90%. That's all about budgeting and keeping your spending in check. Third, and this is key, you make that saved money work for you. Think of every single dollar as a little employee, a golden slave that goes out and earns more money through investments. And finally, number 4, you protect that growing treasure by only taking advice from people who are actual experts with money.
Arkad learned that last rule the hard way. It was a painful mistake. He gave his entire first year's savings to a brickmaker who promised he could buy rare jewels from a faraway land. Of course, the brickmaker knew nothing about gems and got totally scammed buying worthless bits of glass. Arkad lost everything. The lesson is pretty clear, right? You don't ask a brickmaker about jewels, and you don't take investment advice from your cousin who has a hot tip but no actual experience.
And this is the big takeaway here. Financial advice is everywhere, right? Especially these days. But you have to be absolutely ruthless about filtering it. Only listen to people who have proven they know what they're talking about in the specific thing you're interested in. Now, following these rules isn't just about discipline. The book says it's also about how you attract good luck. But the Babylonians, they had a totally different way of looking at luck. They didn't see it as some random thing.
They saw it as something you could actually create.
I just love this way of thinking about it. Luck isn't just something that falls into your lap. It's an opportunity that shows up, but it's impatient. It's not going to wait around for you to get your stuff together. If you aren't ready for it, it just moves right on to the next person.
This is a total mindset shift. See, the unlucky person thinks fortune is just random chance. But the wise Babylonians, they figured out that the people who got lucky were actually doing things to make their own luck. They were preparing the soil, planting the seeds, and getting ready for the harvest. They were creating the conditions for luck to come find them.
So what is good luck, according to the book? It's simple. It's that moment when your preparation meets an opportunity, and you have the courage to just say, yes. It means having the savings ready, having the knowledge in your head, and having the mindset to act when a great deal comes along.
And that brings us to the #1 enemy of building wealth, procrastination. Opportunity doesn't wait for the person just sitting on the couch thinking about it. It favors the person who's already moving, ready to pounce. Hesitation is the fastest way to miss your chance.
So in the end, we're left with this really powerful question. The wisdom from ancient Babylon teaches us that every single dollar you earn is like a seed. You can spend it right away, sure, or you can plant it. By paying yourself first, controlling your spending, investing wisely, and being ready to act, you're not just saving money, you are cultivating an entire forest of wealth. So the question is, what will you choose to grow?